Chris, pleasure to speak with you today. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Chris, can you tell us a bit about yourself, who you are, and the company, please?
Yeah, so my name's Chris Pond. I'm the CTO here at CPS, and we specialize in helping organizations to get the most out of their investment in Microsoft technologies. That is probably the simplest way to put it. So obviously we get lots of contracts and we get lots of NDAs that people are either looking for us to sign, to review, and then to, move forward with. And we were really looking for something where we could have a much more structured approach to reviewing and creating legal documents. Now, I've done this for 25 plus years, so I have an understanding, but I'm not a lawyer, right? So the key thing for me was to have something where I could look to mitigate the risk and balance the cost of actually reviewing documents and NDAs. So, the majority of contracts are pretty similar. We're comfortable with the structure of them and the content. However, having Cloud Contract 365 meant that we could upload those and then get a level of support that we didn't have before, and the kind of guidance that we couldn't access previously. So while it doesn't remove all of the risk, it does provide confidence to me and my colleagues that we're taking the right approach. And then, do we actually need some legal advice on this? So we looked at CC 365 because you guys had a great marketing approach. We've known you through Law 365, right? So that's good. There's comfort there. However, I think even if we hadn't known that, you did a great job of really pushing forward the capability of the tool set without talking about the technology. It was really a great review of, well, look, this is how it's going to help balance risk and cost to your organization. And CPS is a leading proponent of generative AI and Microsoft Copilot, and we knew that a product built on those technologies with like Law 365's kind of knowledge and experience could really bring something that could be quite game changing for us in terms of like risk avoidance for the organization. Law 365 and CC 365, right there, that's a great coming together of organizations. My CEO and I'm not the easiest people to sell to because we've been around the block.
And you are.
and on this occasion, as I said previously, you really didn't talk about the software. You really spoke about how it's going to help and enable our organization to achieve more, reduce costs and reduce risks as well, which is something we always kind of talk about with our customers. So I think from that particular perspective, it wasn't about the software. The software is super simple to use, right? So that was great. And I think we'll talk about that in a moment. But we could see how it could deliver value to our business from its very first use. And that's the important thing. It was, I'm not going to have to spend a lot of time using it to get value from it. It's fully, like, from a technology perspective, it's fully SaaS, single sign-on. Didn't have to worry about doing anything to get it up and running. Our end users could use it without any or little training. Now, we recognize there's always adoption and change management for anything that you do, but actually nobody needed to tell me how to use it. It's pretty straightforward. You can run through it yourselves. We have the unlimited package, so that's super useful. It means that we can really use it to its fullest. We will also be looking to kind of replace our Adobe Sign. So the fact that you've got not just the review of contracts and actually contract creation, it's the fact that we can again further save costs in that particular way. So consolidating suppliers and consolidating solutions just reduces complexity to our business. I think on contract 2 or 3 that we uploaded,
very quick then.
There was discussion around liquidated damages and time is of the essence, right? And so we put it in. I downloaded the Word version with all the notes on the side, and it was like really highlighted those. It highlighted a number of things, obviously, and you get the great risk score, the kind of high, medium, and low. But those two really stuck out. And I've always had liquidated damages as something which is like, nope, that's not the type of business that we are. We don't deliver in that kind of way. So I was like, well, I was able to go back to the customer and say, look, this isn't going to work for us. Can we have a discussion about why? And obviously the notes that get provided by CC 365 actually give me something I can go back to that customer with and say, this is why we don't believe it's to be correct. So, and the time is of the essence thing, right?
And did they change it?
They have changed it.
They did.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So we had a conversation. I think part of it was the fact that it was a utilities organization.
Right.
And really what they'd done is they'd taken a pretty standard contract for filling holes, shall we say.
Absolutely not applicable at all to
no, and it's we're delivering cloud services. We are not delivering. So they were quite receptive. I think for me, having the information from those notes really made the difference, because it wasn't me just saying I don't like this. It was, look, in this situation, this isn't applicable because of X, Y, and Z. So that was where CC 365 really, and that saved me time, money, it reduced the risk. And I've also been able to go to our services team and say, with this contract, you really need to be on top of this and keep a close eye. So yeah, a win all round for sure.
That's absolutely brilliant.
I'm going to ask for 3 because it's really so I think contract review with the risk score and feedback, that's actually number 1 for me. The fact that I can upload a document, get it reviewed really quickly and decide what do I want to do with that. Do I need some support from a legal person to actually fight our corner, shall we say? Because that's quite often the way with those. Secondly, really creating the contracts. We look at managed services and we've really been able to utilize actually and improve the contracts that we have now. So it's a much better contract. And then I think lastly, although it's a bit of a small one, why does everybody want an NDA signed nowadays?
I know.
I mean, all of
we still have to do it.
Yeah. A lot of the time, though, what we get is they are not mutual NDAs. They're very one-sided. So we are now able to say, that's great, but you either need to give us a mutual NDA or sign our one. And it's much more, I feel much happier that we're able to work in that way. So they are my kind of 3 areas for sure. So yes, I would recommend it. Absolutely.
Leading question in that one.
no, it's Are you leading the? No, I would absolutely recommend the product. It just works, and what I really like about it is it's very elegant. And what I mean by that is it's really focused. It delivers on the one thing it's trying to do really well, which is reviewing contracts. Yes, I can do digital signatures, and that's a nice addition. It's not trying to do 20 things. It's trying to do 1 or 2 things really, really critically well. And that's what I try and say to my team. It's like, focus on 1, 2, or 3 things. Don't try and do 10. And that's what I really like about it. As we've gone through today, it works. It works straight out the box. I got value from it like on day 1. So for me, it's already kind of delivered in spades the value that you and the team came to us about and said, look, it can do these things for you. And there's nothing better than someone saying it will do this, and it actually does it.
And it actually does. So, and it's that investment that you start to see products like this like an investment rather than a cost, because actually you can see how it's reaping
for sure. I mean, in our business, risk mitigation is one of the biggest things. We need to make sure, especially with these contracts, it's an insurance, right? In some respects, you never know what's going to happen with a contract or insurance until something goes wrong. It's only at that point that you actually have to deal with it. So it gives me that confidence that when I'm signing contracts, that we're signing it in the right way, but also I can then tell others in the organization, so our services team, for example, hey, look, you really need to be aware about these particular points. And the fact that it then reminds me that that contract's come up for renewal, excellent. I don't want to do Law 365 out of any work, but there's a number of points where it says, oh, you should add in some wording around CPOR or DPOR or CSP and what have you.
Yeah.
It would be great if there was an option to cost, I get, right? I'm not asking for anything for free, but if it said, actually, you could use these paragraphs to actually improve the documents that you're pushing out there, that would be super useful, I think. But it's seriously though, I think another few weeks of usage, and we'll absolutely have probably too many ideas to send back to you. My request would be keep the focus on what you're doing though, because it's excellent piece of technology for sure.
Thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your time.
No
Right.
Well, I wish you and the team every success.
Thank you so much, Chris. Really appreciate that. Thank you. And to you guys as well.